Hi, everybody, and welcome to another edition. In fact, the first edition of the new format of First Person, sponsored by the Precision Strip Company in Minster, Ohio. As we have said for 3 consecutive years now, through their sponsorship of Press Pros and First Person, a great place to work, a great place to start a career or finish one. They may be looking for somebody like you. Give them a call or check them out with the Precision dot strip or precision strip.com website that's scrolling across the bottom of the screen here, and try to hook up with them, check them out, and let them know your appreciation for sponsorship of always of high school sports, area sports, the Buckeyes, UD, and everything that we do here on pressprosmagazine.com. As I said, this is the new edition of First Person for 2022, and our guest this afternoon for this week is Adam Toohey, the head boys basketball coach at Tip City. And let me explain first, Adam, to our viewers that it's a little bit different because we used to do this face to face, as you know. In fact, 1 year ago yesterday, we did First Person with Adam Toohey. At that time, you were undefeated at with the Red Devils, but now we do it remotely. It makes it a little bit more spontaneous. It makes it more convenient, and we have fewer instances of people calling us up and saying, "Hey, by the way, something came up. Can we reschedule?" So this makes it a little bit easier. And Adam, welcome to the show, and certainly thank you for being the guinea pig because you're the first person with the new Zoom format.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I appreciate, you guys have such great coverage of high school sports in our area, and just love what you guys do.
Okay, Adam, let's talk about the Red Devils because I said to somebody here just recently, somebody asked me all the time, who's the best basketball team you think you have seen this year? And I don't know exactly what they mean by best, but I characterized you in the top 3 or 4 of teams that I've seen this year, principally because of the style that you play. You and I have talked about this before. I really appreciate the fact that you have kids that can shoot the ball, and I think I said that night, I saw you 2 weeks ago. In fact, you had 13 made threes against Piqua and had to have them because they made 11 that night. So make your own case, state your own case for the 2022 Red Devils.
Yeah, I think we're a well shooting team. I think we work really hard at that. That's something we do all year long. Anytime we work out together, we always start with, some shooting competitions and we change it up. And our guys really believe in that, understand that, we can't just say, oh, this guy's not a shooter. We think a really important word is yet. So we always say, maybe he's not a shooter yet. Shooters are made with time and work in the gym. But yeah, we think we really feel we have 12 guys who can really give us good minutes and play well. And I think that depth helps us with our up-tempo style of play. And we've had to play some slower games too, and are kind of learning different ways to play. Right now, it's interesting because we've had such great senior leadership from last year's team with Zach Frederick and Ben Knosman, Nick Robbins, Gabe Dean, those 4 guys. We had them playing for years. And so we've got some new guys learning kind of on the fly, and now we're playing 4 games a week. And I think that does help a little bit with learning how to play hard together.
One of the things, and I want to say that has impressed me, and the reason I say that you're one of the 2 or 3 best that I've seen is because the style that you play, that you've just alluded to, and the fact that you guys share the basketball so well. And I've talked to Gavin, I've talked to Griffin a little bit, and some of the kids, Stan Klein, and they all talk about how much fun it is to spread the court, share the ball, and see each other have their own individual success, which turns into collective success.
Yeah, that's a big part of our brotherhood thing is, we can't be like, oh, it's this guy, it's his thing, it's his job to score the points. We all have roles, and some scoring is a role for some of our guys more than others, but we do feel like we have 10, 12 guys who can really score it. Whether it's off the bounce one-on-one or catch and shoot or inside, those kind of things. And our last 2 games, Stanley Klein's led us in scoring most of the year. And I think he's had, maybe 7 the last 2 games because he's sharing it. He's getting in there and 3 guys are collapsing on him, or defenses are geared towards him. I think Gavin Garlitz has had 15 and 25 in our last 2 games because, he's reaping the benefits of everybody loading up onto Stanley. And, I think basketball is most difficult to guard when you play that way, when you share and find the open man in the next pass. But What some teams lack is when they make that extra pass to that guy, can he knock down a shot? And so we really emphasize everybody has to be able to shoot no matter what size you are, what position you play. Shooting is such a pivotal factor.
I think your success this year is remarkable, and you talked about the fact of new guys coming on and playing with you and um, making their own contribution, learning how to play together. And I want to go back to a game that I thought was one of the real surprises of the tournament last year when you were up 21 points in the first half against Chaminade. I don't have to remind you what happened in the second half. The wheels fell off. They come roaring back and beat you. And what a disappointing loss that was. Some of your kids were there for that. I know Gavin Garlitz was there for that. I know Gavin Kopic was there for that. Tell me a little bit about what they learned, what they have carried forward this year, and what that particular night has meant, even in losing, what that has meant to this year's team.
Sure. Our thing, we always say nothing's less important than a halftime score. That's actually a quote we got from Dabo Sweeney. He was playing in a national championship game and said that to the reporter. And I just love saying that, a bad second half ruins a game. You know what I mean? You can have a bad first half and come back and say,
right.
So we talk about that a lot. I think we learned that physicality changes, especially in the tournament and especially in the second half. And that's one thing we've talked about. We played West Carrollton at home the other night, and the physicality changed in the second half. And we knew we had to rise to it. And just understanding that you got to feel what's available in the game. What are they allowing you to do and play up to that physicality? We lift, 4 days a week year round and have guys, leaving lifting on off days because we know that being out physical is not okay to do. And, we've been beaten by teams who are more physical than us. And that's something that we say, we can't allow that to happen. We have to rise to that level of physicality and play to what's being allowed.
With some apologies to Cole Kopic, not Gavin Kopic. I didn't mean to get your name wrong there a moment ago. I think we even talked about this last year, Coach, that the bane of Tip basketball for some time now has been you're in Division II, and those teams that come out of Cincinnati. That's a tough thing to get over in the tournament because they play a very competitive but very physical style of basketball, as you just alluded to. Tell me a little bit about what you know, because your draw is coming up this weekend, and I know you guys coaches always say, no, it's just one game at a time. We're looking at West Carrollton this week but I know better because I know the strength of the Southwest District. Tell us a little bit about some of the teams in the area this year that you already know about.
Sure. It is different having 7 games remaining with the draw being Sunday. Not looking ahead and all that kind of stuff. We're in a league title race, but we do scouting year round for the tournament because we know how important it is and how different things can be with your program just having success in the tournament. So we choose to scrimmage and play teams in the summer based on our tournament draw and who's in it. And I think, this year our Southwest, or at least our Dayton area sectional, is extremely competitive with 3 brackets. I think there's really 7 strong teams. Alter, Oakwood is ranked very high in the state. You've got Trotwood, you've got Ponitz, you got CJ, you got Dunbar, all those guys. Then hopefully we're up in there with them. And we know those teams look at us, and say, hey, we'll jump on those guys and go play them, because we don't have the lineage and pedigree that a CJ does or a Dunbar does or a Trotwood does. So, we prepare to play for them. We do a lot of things even throughout the season to just make sure, hey, we're prepared for, things that are coming in the future. So there's a lot there. Cincinnati's a little different this year. They just don't have maybe the state power as usual. They've got Woodward, who's really good with Paul McMillan. Taylor's another good school down there. And there's a lot of other, good ones. Those 2 have kind of stood out as some of the top 2, but we definitely do our work and homework down there to make sure we're ready to go. And that's kind of the beauty with the tournament is you don't always get to pick. People pick you, when you're a higher seed. And, I'm sure people are just itching to play us. So we have to be prepared and understand that, that does turn into one game at a time. You can't look too far ahead in the tournament. It has to be, possession by possession. And, big thing for us is, close games. Sometimes in the tournament, weird things happen, but if you keep it at 10 to 12, the whole way, then that close game stuff, those things can't come back and bite you.
Honest question and an honest answer from Adam Toohey, the head basketball coach of the Tip Red Devils. And Adam, we appreciate your time. Wish you the best of luck and good health, because in the culture that we live and play in now, from day to day and week to week, you never know. So appreciate what we've seen so far, and we certainly wish you the best going forward to the next 7 games and into the tournament. And we will be there to see it.
Sounds good. Thank you very much. Appreciate the coverage, guys.
I appreciate you being the guinea pig for the new format that we're doing here at First Person. That wraps up this edition of First Person with Adam Toohey from Tip City. And again, sponsored by our friends at Precision Strip in Minster. And a reminder that it's a great place to work. They're always looking for good people, whether you're starting or finishing a career. Give them a call, check them out online. And of course, as we always say, we appreciate your support out there for everything that we do every day, every week, every month here on PressProsMagazine.com. And with that, we'll wrap up this edition with Coach Toohey. Thank our sponsors one more time and say we will look forward to seeing you next time for the next edition of First Person here on PressProsMagazine.com.